Broken achieves the incredibly impressive feat of feeling like a true slice of someone's life, disguised as a movie due to its focus on authenticity and realism. Limiting itself to only a handful of sets, the movie tracks the day-to-day life of 11-year-old Skunk as she experiences the brutal roller coaster of life. In almost real time, as a viewer, you watch the illusion of adolescence shatter around her as her naive optimism is slowly dimmed by the adults around her. Each male role model in her life offers a different version of masculinity, from the overprotective Mr. Oswald to the sweet but meager Mike. Yet the most important figure is Skunk's father, Archie, who shows the weight of balancing grief with single parenthood. Adapted from a novel by Daniel Clay, the story is a loose retelling of To Kill a Mockingbird, with both stories examining injustice and violence through the eyes of a young girl. Both hold this powerful sense of narrative through the juxtaposition of their complex moral issues seen through the eyes of innocence. Utilizing this adolescent lens spotlights the flaws of adult behavior and offers a raw, unfiltered view, which allows emotions to settle at the forefront of the movie. It doesn't rely on sensationalism, its shock value is purposefully stark, and it is the authenticity of the performances that supports the dense and heavy narrative. The inciting incident in Broken sees a frantic Mr. Oswald rush outside and beat up a simple young male named Rick Buckley as a young Skunk watches on, bewildered by the scene in front of her. It's soon revealed that single father Oswald had found a condom in her daughter's room and pressured her into revealing who had attacked her, struggling to contain his rage and protective nature. In order to calm their father down, one of his daughters accuses Rick of rape, leading to the attack and consequently causing Rick to isolate himself until he is put in a mental ward. Immediately, the movie shows it isn't going to shy away from the brutal unjustness of reality and gray morality of its cast. However, it also evidences the kindness of its protagonist, as Skunk is shown treating Rick with dignity and respect due to her pure heart and genuine goodwill. These three families, the Oswalds, the Buckleys, and Skunk's family, live at the end of a cul-de-sac, which serves as the main setting for the story. The movie's director, Rufus Norris, is much more notable for his theater work, and that insular on-stage feel can be seen throughout Broken. Centering the narrative on this one corner of a street gives this insular feel and means the movie can focus on the relationships between the characters. Although there are scenes that take place outside the home, such as a car junkyard and Skunk's school, these sets are minimal and still hone in on the important characters in the story. The organic flow between scenes gives the movie a real-time feel, lingering on Skunk's conversations and not cutting lines that could appear trivial and unimportant to pushing the narrative forward. Broken understands that there is no rush to get to the action, as the priority is Skunk's interpretation of the world, and so much inference can be pulled out of these conversations between her and her brother or her first boyfriend, Cillian. By removing the adults from the situation, Broken gives these unfiltered conversations that offer incredibly direct and raw analysis of the events. The harsh reality Break Skunk experiences could only be achieved through having such a young protagonist and letting her truly lead the story, rather than creating a facade of a young lead, but choosing to focus on the adults of the story. Although Eloise Lawrence is the star of Broken, her performance is heightened by the seasoned actors around her, facilitating her authenticity. Each male role model shows a different facet of paternal support and evidence that no one is outright good or bad, as there is moral nuance in everyone. Both Kinnear and Roth are playing men without their partners, but offer different reactions to the situation. Kinnear is outwardly violent in his attempt to protect his daughters, so that even when his actions are unfathomable, the audience can see the emotional stress that has caused the outburst. Roth's performance is much more subdued and gentle, showing how he has internalized his feelings of grief as his form of protection over his children. Cillian Murphy represents a more modernized man who is particularly struggling with the idea of settling down and starting a family.